What's going on YouTube? This is Hero Stormwolf, and we're going to talk a little bit about Star Wars Battlefront. Not to be confused with the older games, this is the reboot made exclusively by EA. Now, for those who have seen reviews of Star Wars Battlefront or have been playing the game themselves, you may have noticed a recurring theme with it. While the game looks and sounds amazing, it has no real actual depth to it, and it's one of those things where you pick up and play for maybe 2 hours and then you drop it and play something else, pick it up again, so on and so forth. Reason they being for that is because this game was actually designed to be the most casual of shooters, to cater to the lowest denominator of first-person shooters possible to rake in the most revenue. This is not just me saying that, this is someone coming from EA themselves. At a recent investor conference, Blake Jorgensen said this quote here, and I'll read it out and also have in the link description. Star Wars Battlefront is a first-person shooter, but it is one of the only team-rate first-person shooters. We have designed it to be a much more accessible product for a wide age group, and for the hardcore, it may not have the depth that the game wanted. And to expand upon that quote a little bit, he says that, so an 8-year-old could play this game with his father on the couch, as well as a teenager or 20-year-old could play this game and enjoy it. It's much more accessible. And again, he quotes that for the hardcore, it may not be the game that they are looking for. And when you take this into account and you see exactly what Star Wars Battlefront has to offer or what it lacks to offer, it makes a lot more sense. That's why you see things like the power-ups on the field. That's why the ships and the vehicles are so easy to drive, though they don't have the best controls. This is why none of the guns really have any recoil, and while you really don't have to aim down the sights to kill anyone. While heroes are so overpowered, even to the point that they don't have like degenerating health like the older games. Like why there's barely any customization options, why you have the cards. Like all this stuff in terms of design makes sense because the game is for a casual audience. It's not meant for people who play Battlefield. It's not meant for people who play Call of Duty. And even saying Call of Duty has more options than another first-person shooter was kind of sad. It does not offer anything for people who actually like first-person shooters. This game is meant for people who like Star Wars and barely play games. That's what this game is meant for. And it makes sense, again, not only by the design choices that have been made to make this game, but backed by the fact that EA is the only one that can make Star Wars games for the next 10 years because they own the license. Kind of similar to what they did with the NFL, and they're the only ones that can make NFL games. So you may see something different with a sequel to this game. In fact, there's actually another quote here that all but confirms that there might be a single player story. I'll get the quote up here. It says that, or excuse me, here we go. The EA CEO Peter Moore talked about the game itself in a little small segment of the quote. He says that a lot of single player opportunities within the game, while admitting that there's none obviously, but there's couch and co-op play. He said that this isn't a dedicated decision for future games that are locked in stone. We'll determine what that team's development further goes down the process. So it's kind of a sly way of saying there's a slight possibility that we'll have some single player content in the next game. So it's no doubt in my mind that there's going to be a Star Wars Battlefront 2. It'd be stupid for EA not to with a 10-year license. And hopefully this is the game that people were excited for when the trailer first came out. This is the Star Wars Battlefront that people want. And to close this off, a lot of people say that when this trailer first came out for Star Wars Battlefront, that it was going to be a Battlefield reskin with Battlefront assets. And honestly, that game would have been a lot better than the game that has come out now. I would much rather have a Star Wars Battlefield than a Star Wars Battlefront, just based on the game that has come out now and based on previous Battlefield games. But what do you guys think? For those who have actually been playing the game, do you not care that it's so easy to accessible, or excuse me, do you not care that it's easy to accept? Words are hard. Do you not care that it's so casual and it's so accessible for a wide range of audience, or do you think this game needed that hardcore flair to it to keep the longevity of the game going? Or do you just not care at all? You think the game's amazing? What do you guys think about it? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Later.